Most luxury SUVs try to impress you in the first 5 minutes. This one took 5 days to completely change my opinion. The Lexus LX700h Overtrail looks like a rugged off-roader, but after daily driving it, I found things that shocked me, both in a good way and a frustrating way. This isn't just another expensive hybrid SUV. It behaves nothing like I expected in real-world traffic, parking lots, and long highway drives. The big question is, does living with it every day make it a brilliant buy or a beautiful mistake? The Lexus LX has always been the brand's statement SUV. Big, expensive, and built to feel indestructible. It shares its roots with Toyota's legendary Land Cruiser, but wraps that toughness in luxury aimed squarely at American buyers who want comfort without giving up capability. The new LX700h Overtrail takes that formula in a different direction. This isn't just a facelift or a trim tweak. It's Lexus stepping into hybrid power while leaning harder into an off-road identity than the LX has ever had before.
The Overtrail badge signals adventure, but this SUV is still expected to handle school runs, commutes, and long highway trips with the polish of a flagship luxury vehicle. That balance is what makes this launch so interesting. Buyers in the U.S. are shifting toward electrified SUVs, yet many still want size, presence, and real-world toughness. The LX700h is trying to prove you don't have to choose.
After living with it as a daily driver, I started noticing details you'd never catch in a quick dealership test drive. From how it feels in tight city parking to how the hybrid system changes the personality of such a massive SUV. On paper, it sounds like a perfect blend. In reality, it's more complicated, and that's where this review gets interesting. Living with the LX700h Overtrail every day is where the story really starts to unfold. From the outside, it looks massive and unapologetically boxy, with that tall stance and squared-off nose that makes traffic part like you're driving something important. The Overtrail trim adds darker accents, chunkier tires, and subtle off-road touches that give it a tougher personality without screaming for attention. It's the kind of SUV that looks just as natural outside a luxury hotel as it does covered in dust.
Step inside, and the contrast is immediate. The cabin is quiet, thickly insulated, and wrapped in materials that feel expensive the moment you touch them. The seats are wide and supportive, built for long highway stretches, and the driving position is commanding without feeling truck-like. Lexus loads this thing with screens, cameras, and driver aids, but the layout stays clean and intuitive. After a few days, everything falls exactly where your hands expect it to be. That's rare in a vehicle this tech-heavy.
Then there's the hybrid system, which completely changes how this big SUV behaves. Around town, it glides in near silence at low speeds, making something this large feel strangely relaxed in stop-and-go traffic. Press the accelerator harder, and the gas engine blends in smoothly, delivering strong, confident acceleration that never feels strained. It's not a sports SUV, but it moves with authority, especially merging onto highways or climbing steep grades. The surprising part is how composed it feels. The suspension soaks up broken pavement while keeping the body controlled, even over rough city streets. Fuel economy is where expectations get interesting. For a vehicle this size, the numbers are better than you'd expect, but the real story is how consistent it feels during daily driving. Long commutes, errands, and weekend trips don't punish you at the pump the way a traditional full-size luxury SUV might. Still, this efficiency comes with trade-offs that only show up after extended time behind the wheel, and they're not obvious at first glance. Technology and safety features are everywhere. The camera system makes tight parking far less stressful than the LX's size suggests, and the driver assist tech works smoothly in heavy traffic. But some features feel overprotective, occasionally reminding you that this is a machine trying very hard to manage your experience. For some drivers, that's reassuring. For others, it might feel like too much intervention. And that's where things start to get complicated. The LX700h Overtrail delivers comfort, presence, and hybrid smoothness in a way few competitors can match. But the real surprise isn't just how it drives. It's how these strengths collide with its price, personality, and everyday usability. And once you look at the value side of the equation, the conversation shifts in a way most buyers won't expect. The turning point came during a long highway run that I expected to be completely uneventful.
Big luxury SUVs usually settle into a comfortable rhythm, soft, quiet, and honestly a little dull. But the Lex 700h Overtrail surprised me the moment traffic opened up. At cruising speed, it felt planted and calm, almost like a rolling lounge. Yet when I needed to pass, the hybrid system delivered instant torque that shoved this massive SUV forward with shocking ease. There was no hesitation, no dramatic engine roar, just smooth, confident acceleration that made something this large feel strangely effortless. Then I took it off the pavement. Nothing extreme, just a rough trail with uneven surfaces and loose gravel, the kind of road most luxury SUVs pretend they can handle. The Overtrail didn't flinch. The suspension articulated cleanly, the cabin stayed composed, and the cameras turned tricky angles into a clear, almost video game-like view. What hit me wasn't just that it could do it, it was how relaxed it felt while doing it. No rattles, no drama, no sense that you were abusing an expensive machine.
But here's the twist. The same size and presence that make it feel invincible on the highway and trail become impossible to ignore in tight urban spaces. Parking garages suddenly feel smaller. Narrow lanes demand more attention. You're constantly aware that you're piloting something enormous. It's a reminder that this SUV asks you to commit to its scale every single day. And that contrast is the real shock. The LX700h Overtrail is brilliant at the extremes: comfort, capability, power, yet its everyday reality forces a question most buyers won't consider until they live with it. The big reveal isn't whether it performs, it's whether you're willing to shape your life around what it is, and that decision changes everything about the final verdict. So after daily driving the LX700h Overtrail and pushing it through highways, city streets, and rough terrain, the verdict is surprisingly clear. This is one of the most capable luxury SUVs on sale in the US right now, but it's also one of the most demanding. Its biggest strengths are undeniable: exceptional ride comfort, real off-road credibility, a hybrid system that makes a huge vehicle feel smooth and modern, and a cabin that genuinely feels flagship level. It delivers presence, refinement, and toughness in a way very few competitors can match. The drawbacks are just as real. Its size is a constant factor in everyday life, and no amount of cameras or sensors fully hides that. The price places it firmly in a niche where buyers expect perfection, and while the LX comes close, it asks you to accept compromises in maneuverability and practicality. This isn't a casual purchase, it's a lifestyle decision. For buyers who want a luxury SUV that can tow, travel, explore, and still feel special every time they climb inside, the Overtrail makes a strong case. It's ideal for drivers who value durability and comfort over sporty handling, and who appreciate hybrid efficiency in a segment that traditionally ignores fuel economy. In today's U.S. market, where electrification is creeping into even the biggest vehicles, the LX700h feels like a preview of where full-size luxury SUVs are heading: powerful, electrified, and unapologetically large. The real question is simple. Do you want an SUV that adapts to your life, or are you excited to adapt your life to it? If you've driven the new LX, or you're considering one, I want to hear your thoughts. Drop your opinion in the comments, hit like if this helped, and subscribe for more real-world reviews that go beyond the spec sheet.